Here obviously everybody still likes that bouquet of long stemmed flowers that they can take out of the cellophane and place into a vase. So we're going to use and wrap a traditional gift wrap, but we're just going to add those little extra elements in to really give it a little bit more of a modern feel. So what we will first do, the way I would measure for a gift wrap is I would fold my cellophane to create one square, and then approximately 12 to 14 inches extra in length to the piece. So that would give me the length of the wrap that I actually need and required to wrap my flowers. I'm now going to take one square of the orange tint. So again, I would measure and cut. So that gives me one square of the tint. This will actually then be placed onto the cellophane that's going to be the wrap to go around my flowers. I'm now going to take my tint and I'm going to fold into a point, and then I'm just going to fold up the end. So what this actually is creating is a nice backing to go at the back of the design. Now I'm going to take my cellophane so far down so that I've got approximately an inch border around the outside of the tint, so when I actually come to scrunch the cellophane, everything will naturally come back together. So once we've got the actual orange cellophane folded, as you can see, we've actually got a border around the outside, approximately an inch and a half in width, so that when we actually make the gift wrap and we actually come to scrunch the cellophane, it will naturally ride up into the right position that is required. So we've now got our cellophane in position, and we're going to now take our flowers, and here we're going to create a nice warm coloured bouquet for Mother's Day using some wonderful orange geminis, some orange Asiatic lilies, we've got some Mollusella, some wonderful solid aster, and some yellow Reagan chrysanthemums. Now when I actually create a gift wrap, I make everything into the hand, so it's very much like making a sort of a tied sheath that you would normally make, and I always find it's an easier way of actually creating a gift wrap for a design. So I can hold everything within my hand. I'm then going to first of all start to just place in some small amount of foliage either side, so this is giving depth to my actual design. And then I'm going to start off by placing in some of the solid aster. So this is going as a point, and then we can start to layer in our flower material. So I always thread, and I'm sort of getting a slight spiral onto the design here. Some wonderful yellow carnations, again taking to that point, little Gemini gerbera. So we're trying to show the beauty of each flower as we work through. A little bit more of the grevillea, the green of grevillea I'm using this time, and I'm using the foliage to help me layer my flowers into the right position. So I can then start to create my wonderful bouquet. Some Asiatic lilies, a little bit of leather leaf, and because I'm using the foliage, this is layering my flowers up, which puts them in a better position within the bouquet. Now I'm just looking at the position, and I feel that that would be better placed a little bit higher so we can keep the length to those lilies. and just finishing off with a couple of pieces of leather leaf down near the base. So once I've created how I want all my flowers to look, I can now tie those in place. And the reason why I'm tying them is because you've got to think, whenever you get a guy come in the shop or your driver's going out delivering and they turn them upside down, what you don't want is anything falling out. So this way you're making sure that all your stems are secure and nothing is going to fall out as the customer is walking down the road. So that is very important. So now we've tied our flowers in position, we can now take them to the orange cellophane to start off with first of all. So we're making sure that they sit nicely near the edge, and we're going to take the cellophane around that tying point. So they go around that tying point, so it's hiding all your mechanics. So this is when we place the actual flowers onto the cellophane and making sure we have this extra clear cellophane around the outside. We need to just gently trim off a little bit of the stems just to even the balance around the end. And what we're going to do now is start to wrap your gift wrap. So we're going to take the cellophane first of all over and then bring it back the opposite direction. So your cellophanes are actually catching here and giving slight cleavage to the cellophane itself. Take the cellophane underneath, and I'm just going to catch just to hold in position there. So we can still see through and see all the flowers in the right position. Now I'm just going to take a small piece of cellophane, approximately 16 inches in width, and we're just going to make up the ribbon ready for the bouquet. So making sure I've got enough twine to actually fasten. I'm now going to make a flatter bow for this design. So I'm going to work on a figure 8. So I'm going to go over and under. So it's under and over. And then I'm just going to scrunch in the middle of the ribbon, fold in half, and then tie. I'm just making sure that any pieces of the cellophane that just runs up the side has just got a small piece just to connect, so it's not going to move. I'm now going to take my piece of cellophane that I cut, and I'm just going to fold in half so it gives these points. Gently scrunching the cellophane within my hand, what I'm creating is a fan that's got 4 points. I'm now going to scrunch my cellophane in from this centre point where the tying point actually is, and it's just going to cut the actual flowers underneath. Take my tying point underneath and then go back to the top of the ribbon to fasten in place. Now here we've just got a little bit of excess of cellophane, which is just about the right amount, so we can then gently fold that neatly underneath. You don't want to scrunch the stems in, you want to still allow them to stay quite natural. And there you have an absolute stunning gift wrap. And as you see, you've just got this excess just around the outside that really gives you that wonderful feel to the outside of the design.